Welcome to Master of the Game. I am Juice, this is Paula, and we are triumphantly crushing RPG a day. So, if this is your first time here, make sure you smash that subscribe button, hammer that like button, and let's talk about Triumph. Let's get started. Today's topic is Triumph. When I think of Triumph, I'm thinking like big battles and mass combat and big like wars, right? And speaking of which, I have a game coming up at GrandCon 2019 where it's going to be basically the players are in the middle of a mass battle. They're not going to have to worry about troops or anything like that.
Okay.
And I've imagined it out in different phases. So even if you're going to play in the game or whatever, this isn't going to spoil anything, but it's kind of going to give you a little bit of foresight into what's going on. So the idea is there's a good chance the players are going to die multiple times. Like there might be 3 TPKs in the same session, right?
Love it.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. But there's a chance someone could make it through the whole thing. There's a chance.
They need a certificate.
Well, I'm going to do something like that. So I was going to go out next week and I was going to get all the character sheets printed out. I was going to get I'm going to print that at home, but I was going to make a nice certificate on nice paper for a couple different categories. So I'm going to have the Kenny Death Awards, which means you died the most, like Kenny from South Park.
Cool.
And I'm going to have the Hollywood moment. Okay.
Perfect.
And then I was going to have another one, and I don't remember what that was. I'll have to think about that and remember it. But the idea is players can earn these little certificates, and I want to make this an annual event, whether it's at GrandCon or online after this, but I want to make it an annual thing that's streamed, and I'm going to keep track if people are up for it. They can use a code name or their real name. I want to keep track every year of who won each award with a little blurb about it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and I'm going to put it on my website. So anyways, the idea is there's multiple phases, okay? The combat's going to start, think of like Helm's Deep and like Lord of the Rings where everyone's on the wall waiting to get attacked.
Right, yep.
Something like that.
Okay.
And stuff's going to happen, right? That's phase 1. If the players do well and succeed, then phase 2 will be a little bit easier. If they all fail in TPK, then phase 2 will be harder and probably happen quicker. If they succeed at phase 2, and again, I'm not going to spoil all that, but again, it keeps getting pushed back until either the players have succeeded with the mass army to hold off the bad guys, or
you run out of characters.
No, because we can just reuse characters too, and just be like, here you go, here's a new one, boom, boom.
So
you can't play the exact same one over and over again.
Are your characters that you are using all going to be the exact same level?
All 5th level.
Oh, okay.
So it's not first level, it's 5th level.
Well, yeah, but it should be first level. But I was just thinking well, what if like this character is 5th level and then I have to randomly draw through a pile and now my character is 3rd level and I have to randomly draw and now my character is 8th level.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
And I have to randomly draw and now my character is
I think the problem with that is you might be really screwing the players. And the players can bring their own characters.
Oh, okay.
So you can bring your own.
It difficult.
The idea though is I don't want someone playing the exact same character over and over again. That's it. That's the only rule. Like, hey, if you brought one, great. Here is a pile, pick one. You know, and I've got some different unique characters in there. I made them all in D&D Beyond, which is awesome. I love that software. I made 12 characters in like 30 minutes. You know, and most of them are against type a little bit. You know, like, Goliath. I don't know. I probably don't have this, but a Goliath wizard or this and that. And then I tried to do some things that kind of meshed well and were optimized. I tried to mix it up. Gave some magic items to some of them don't. So I did some stuff. Yeah, I tried to make them unique. Some of them have awesome weapons that are magic items. Some of them have like a ring of protection, so their armor class is bumped or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I tried to mix it up.
I like the randomization.
And if they win, maybe they'll get a triumphant certificate at the end, and whoever's alive will get it. So my idea is there's 3 strikes. If you lose 3 characters, you're done.
Great idea.
So, and it's only like 2 or 3 hours. It's a shorter game.
Okay,
but I'm excited about it. So that's what I got for Triumph. It's called the Annual Adventurer's Gauntlet. It's the Master of the Game Annual Adventurer's Gauntlet.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I like it.
I'm excited about it.
So Triumph makes me think of, like your stereotypical, like old-fashioned paladin who's lawful good. Okay. Like I can just
has to be lawful good.
Right?
You can't play this paladin in second edition.
Because that's how it always was.
And you need minimum stats
of like every single thing.
Or death by farming.
Right. So I mean that's what I think of when I think of Triumph, which always brings me to you have to be lawful good in old editions, which is super annoying. So let's talk about alignment. Because that is something that we have not talked about. And it's something that I don't think that we're probably totally in agreement on. But, like...
Probably not. I think it's funny. Hang on. I think it's hilarious when you see someone who hasn't played D&D since 2nd edition and they sit down to play 5th edition and they're very confused how you can have an evil deity and be a paladin. And you can't, wait, you don't have to be lawful good? No, that doesn't make sense. Like, Steven was like that. I think he played a ranger in one of our early games.
Yeah.
And he hated that, it wasn't like 2nd edition in that regard. I remember him being really upset by that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think it's a terrible idea to restrict alignment by class, right? It just doesn't jive with me, right? It's sort of like saying, a rogue has to be evil. Like, why would a rogue have to be evil? Like, they could be, like your Robin Hood character, right? Is Robin Hood a ranger? Is Robin Hood a rogue? Like, maybe he's a little bit of both.
Sure.
Like, whatever. But, he could be that type of person who's, the stereotypical, Robin Hood is, chaotic good, right?
Sure. Is he? I don't know what alignment. Alignments are a farce to me.
But, yes. See, I know that, so he does not really care
it's
about
too black
alignment.
And white.
Where he's like, oh, it's not really a big deal to me. It's not a priority at all.
Sure.
I started out playing a lot of 2nd edition where obviously alignment is a bigger deal and a bigger issue because you don't have these, in 5th edition, you have this great place on your character sheet where I feel like it starts to here's my ideals. This is my character's goals. And, you start to, you make sure that even players that don't have a solid foundation of what their character is have some sort of background and depth to go on.
Okay.
You didn't have that as much in 2nd edition when you were first rolling up. And so I think it was just you started off with your base of alignment and then you kind of grew your concept from there. Mm-hmm. And so I think they were more important at that time than what they maybe are now to you, because
but don't you feel like they're too black and white? Think about it. As a person, I'm not going to go murder somebody. But if somebody does something to my kids, I'm going to murder them. That doesn't mean I'm a non-lawful person.
No, I don't think...
That's a gray area.
It's the
but
same...
you can do that with everything. If I can't feed my family, and they're starving to death, and we're in communist Russia, and there's no way to get the money I need to feed my family, I'm going to go rob a grocery store to feed my family. I am not unlawful.
But not everybody
and I'm not chaotic.
Not everybody would go rob the grocery store.
I understand that.
Maybe they
haven't hit that limit yet.
No, but
it's
I'm
survival.
Just saying, but there are different ways to approach that same issue. So it's sort of you have,
this is totally a
Myers-Briggs,
episode.
Personalities.
Sure.
Or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have there's 9 or 12 or something
but you
that.
Throw any one of those people into the military, they're going to shoot the other side.
And so the point is that you're going to fall into different ones, and they're not 100%, this is not you fitting into a box.
Sure.
But it gives you some sort of, guidance or semblance of, this is probably most of your personality sort of falls in this area.
The problem I have is that DMs run it 100% literal.
It's the same way with alignment. It's the exact same way.
But there are DMs out there who used to run it 100% literal. You would never kill this goblin. Bullshit, it's a goblin. It's not a person, it's a goblin. It's a vermin, is how I view it. So I would kill it. That doesn't mean I'm unlawful or that I'm evil. It's a goblin. It is not a person.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So again, it's a gray area that I don't think alignment ever covered. It's something we experienced when we played 2nd edition with your brother and Erica. Because remember, when we were fighting, I don't remember what alignment I was, but she was a cleric, and she plays her clerics very lawful good. Very. Like, to a T. Like, if there is a chance to not kill anything that can speak, nope, wouldn't kill it. No goblins, no bug, like, nope, we gotta let them live. We're in a dungeon, we have to kill them. You can't subdue them. Like, that just isn't going to work.
How are we going to take him back to the city?
Yeah.
Like, what's the long-term plan?
Now we're going to spend 45 minutes discussing this, and it's going to hold things up, and we really should have just killed it in the first place anyway. Because it's survival. And on top of that, it's not a person.
Yeah, so I agree with you that it shouldn't be that literal. But I do think that there is some sort of merit and some sort of importance, because at the same time, if you didn't think it was that big of a deal, then you wouldn't be so opposed to people playing super evil characters.
I'm not opposed.
Or,
I just need to trust my players. Just got to trust the players doing it. That's it. It depends on the player. And so, for instance, there's a guy in one of my 2 groups who wants to play an evil necromancer. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, that sounds interesting. I'm okay with it. But are you going to be a disruptive player? If your character can work with the group, and work towards a common goal of the campaign, cool. You know my rule. Like, once you start doing stuff that the party would, in theory, not be okay with, that that character becomes an NPC. Roll up a new character. That one's now one of my NPCs to use how I see fit. Might become an enemy of the party or something. That's what I was going to do with Jordan's character for stealing from you guys. And causing problems. Because it was like, why would you travel with someone who's making your life harder? You don't know that well. There's no loyalty there. And all they're doing is screwing you every chance they get. You're not going to work with that person. I
think that there are some aspects of alignment that make things, interesting, right? Like, if you have a very, we're all a neutral good party, and then you throw, a chaotic neutral character into it to just, spice things up a little bit.
Yeah, but everyone else would just go with the flow because they're neutral. They'd be like, we're just going with the flow. Maybe. I'm a true neutral druid, man.
No.
That's your true neutral druid. Oh, you're a little chaotic? That's all right.
It's going to be fine.
I got my hobbit weed. Or hobbit tobacco or whatever. I don't remember what they called it. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm okay with it. I like the idea of I still choose an alignment, and I still let it guide me as a player. But to me, it's just that there's always way more depth to people than just, do you follow the law or not? Do you cause some chaos or not?
I agree. I do.
There's way more to it.
Yeah.
So people are way more in depth, and I feel like your character should be too, especially as a campaign progresses.
Yeah, I mean,
we can just agree to disagree, and that's fine. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's caused any problems in our games. Not for me and you, at least.
No, I think it's always just added, some interest.
I'm cool.
Again.
I always put thought into my alignment.
Okay.
But I don't care what someone plays at my table, because I expect them to play the character in a way that they see it. And I'm not going to penalize them because they put a LN on their sheet and they're acting a little chaotic every now and then. Maybe there's a reason for them to be chaotic.
Right.
Maybe their character's a little crazy. And, so maybe they're lawful neutral, but they're just not on their meds.
Most of my characters usually are, so it's fine.
Art reflects reality sometimes? Oh. Or what is that how the saying goes? Art is, I don't know. Something like that. There's a saying that I don't know. I suck at sayings. So anyways, is that all you want to say on Triumph?
Yeah.
All right. So that was Triumph, alignment, winning big battles. Be sure to let us know in the comments below who you thought was more entertaining, who had a better topic. And this was Master of the Game. I am Juice. This is Paula. Game on.